Oh, and rolling. Hey, welcome to episode 4. Amazing that we're here already. Wasn't that long ago I was doing the first one, but yeah, thank you for everyone who's watched or listened to the previous ones. If it's the first time watching and or listening, welcome, more than welcome. Hop on aboard the podcast train and strap in, buckle up, because it's going to be some ride, this one. But I was just thinking this one, I want to talk about Monopoly, the game Monopoly. I think it's a bit random, but I don't know if anyone here has, you probably have. I'd be very, very surprised if you're watching or listening to this and you haven't ever played Monopoly. Is it a good game? Depends, doesn't it? Depends. It's like a lot of it's on the roll of the dice, but then you also have to make smart decisions. But then, yeah, I think it's an interesting game. But what I find fascinating about Monopoly is you can literally have like up to 8 people gathered around a table, gathered around a piece of cardboard, passing bits of paper to each other, moving bits of metal around, and getting like, people can get proper emotional over the game. But why? Like the Why podcast, but why? Why do people do that? I think what brings people together and what brings it to life is the rules, right? It's the instructions. It's a set of codified rules that everyone abides by, everyone agrees. If you didn't have the rules, you just have bits of material and it'd just be chaos. No one would know what's happening. People just get bored, lose interest. But it's a set of rules that people abide by, brings the game to life. And all of a sudden you've got many people gathered together, having a good time, hopefully, hours on end. And I think, honestly, for us, this is, for this life, I've got it here, the Bible. I think the Bible is very, very similar in a sense, because I truly believe this is basically God's instruction manual. He's basically saying, sorry, there's something going on outside, I don't know what's going on. Random. But I think that this is basically God's instruction manual for us. It's a bit like he's saying life is complicated, there's lots of suffering, there's lots of things you don't know. Here's the instruction manual. And I think it's written in such a way that no matter what era you're born in, what ethnicity, how old you are, what language you speak, what culture you're from, what gender you're from, or whatever, it's written in such a way that everyone can be guided by it. It's a bit like a compass that fits everyone. I do think it is a compass. It's like when times get foggy, when they get complicated, when you think, I don't know, I've got a story about it before. I remember when I went up I don't know if you haven't been up the Malvern Hills, I massively recommend it, but I remember one time I went up there, it wasn't that dark, it's sort of November time, and I thought, okay, I know my way there, it's fine. I was a bit naive, I wanted to go on an adventure as well. Got to the top, and then all of a sudden, really foggy, got dark, and I was thinking, where do I go? Didn't have a compass, I think my phone ran out of battery, didn't know what I was doing, but I think I nearly fell down the hill edge, and it nearly got a bit messy, nearly got a bit complicated, but somehow, unfortunately, thank you to God, I managed to make my way down. But I'm thinking that when times get foggy, when we're in a situation we don't know what to do, we think, no one understands me, this is a very unique situation. Honestly, I'm not kidding, the Bible, I swear, it has an answer for everything. I think it's a bit like a word search as well. When you have a word search in front of you, you've literally got all the answers there. But it's not until you grapple with it, engage with it, that all the answers sort of, when you highlight it, the answers sort of surface. You can see very clearly what's correct and what's not. So it's incredible. I heard someone say this before, that there's infinite number of pathways through which you can walk through the Bible. So like no matter how many times you've walked through it, maybe you've walked this way, no matter how long you live, you could literally live for like 1,000 years. You've literally just, it's like a grain of sand along a massive beach. And that's like, there's just so much to it and depth to it. It's incredible. And it's like a light, isn't it? And there's a verse as well in Revelation about how Jesus is the Word, right? I think it's like, I'll find it on it. I've got my laptop here. Revelation 19:13, and his name is the Word of God. Like Jesus is the Word of God. This is the Word of God. And someone said this to me last February and it blew my mind. They basically quoted this verse, and they basically said that when you carry the Bible with you, you're carrying Jesus with you. If you think it actually is the Word of God, you're carrying Jesus with you, the creator of the universe. Jesus is God. So it's powerful, man, honestly. But yeah, I just think it's food for thought. Precondition for truth itself is pure truth. And I think it does get a bad rap from people. I think obviously it gets mocked a lot, right? People like to mock the Bible, people like to mock Christians, but if something or somebody's being mocked, it means you're doing something right. It means you're making a difference in the world. So I think pure truth right here. If you haven't got a Bible, and honestly, even if you just read one verse, I need to start doing this. Sometimes on Instagram, I think I follow the Bible page. I think it's just called Bible, that's its handle, and it's usually a verse a day comes on your feed, and that massively helps me, and it really does change the direction of my day. So yeah, the Bible, episode 4 of this podcast. I'd love to hear what anyone else thinks about it, what I've just said. Anyone disagree with anything I've said? If you do disagree, I won't be offended, I promise. In fact, I invite disagreement. I love conversation, so I want to learn. That's what I want to do. But thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and onwards to episode 5. Onwards and upwards we go. Yes, let's go.